Hello and welcome to Fox Gaming. Today Alex and I are going to play a game of Warhammer 40k 10th edition. In this game the spacewolves are facing the Orks. I will be playing the spacewolves and Alex will be playing the Orks. This is a 500 point game, though we have both chosen our armies to be 505 points. But they're equal value, so there should be no problem at all. Since the armies are roughly 500 points, we are using the combat patrol missions. So first we will go through the mission and then we will go through the armies. The mission we are playing today is called Display of Might. And this is how the battlefield will look like. Mission rules for this game will be break their spirits, and that is, players cannot use the insane bravery stratagem unless the unit targeted for that stratagem is within 6 inches of their warlord. We will also be able to claim sites. The objective markers in No Man's Land are symbolic sites at the end of each player's command phase. If the player whose turn it is controls a symbolic site and one or more character models from their army are within range of it, that symbolic site is claimed by the models while they remain on that objective. The primary objectives are as follows. At the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is score 5 victory points for each of the following conditions that they satisfy. They control 1 or more objective markers, they control 2 or more objective markers, 1 or more symbolic sites are claimed by a model from their army, and 1 or more symbolic sites have been claimed by the same model from their army for 2 or more consecutive turns. The Space Wolf army will consist of 1 chaplain and a unit of 10 Grey Hunters with plasma guns. They will also have a unit of Grey Hunters 5 models strong with 2 flamers. They also have a Power Fist, as well as the leader in the 10-man squad has also a Power Fist. Lastly, we have a unit of 6 Long Fangs with missile launchers. The Orks will have 10 boys, 1 with rocket launcher and 1 nob with big chopper. The warlord of the army is a pain boy. And then we have a unit of 5 flash kits. And then we have the death thread with 1 custom mega blaster and 1 rocket launcher. Lastly, we have a unit of kilocans, 3 models. They have 1 Grotzuka, 1 can shooter and 1 scorcher. Here we have the deployment zones we rolled off, and the Space Wolves will be the defender in this scenario and deploys over here. So the Orks will be the attacker from the other side of the battlefield. We have declared the battle formation, and the chaplain will go with these 10 Grey Hunters, and the pain boy over here will be with these boys. No dedicated transports and no reserves. Alright, so both players have deployed their armies. The Orks deployed in a battle line over here with the kilocans to the right and the death thread to the left. Then we have the flash kits over there and the boys in the middle on the objective. And this is the deployment of the Space Wolves. We have the Grey Hunters in the middle with the chaplain, and Grey Hunters to the left, 5 models, and the Long Fangs up on the steps in the back. Okay, let's see who gets the first turn. The Space Wolves get a 6 and the Orks get a 6, so we get a reroll right away. And the Space Wolves still get a 6, but the Orks get a 5. So the Space Wolf will begin turn 1. Alright, so it's the command phase and both players gain 1 command point each. In addition to this, the Space Wolf will choose the kilocans as their Oath of Moment target. In combat patrol battles, the battle line units can claim objectives, so the Grey Hunters will claim that objective before they move. In the movement phase, the Grey Hunters with the chaplain moved over to this side to try to shoot at the boys over there. The other units of Grey Hunters moved up to the ruin to hide from enemy shooting next turn. The shooting phase, these Grey Hunters will shoot at the boys, and in return the boys will be targeted with a stratagem called hard as nails, which means that the Space Wolves will get -1 on their wound rolls. Right, starting with the plasma guns, needing a 3-up to hit, and they hit on both of them. So no supercharge, but they have a strength of 7 against a toughness of 5, which means they will need 3-up to wound, but -1 because of the hard as nails rule. So 4-up to wound. No wounds. Next we have the bolter shots, and they hit on a 3-up. 10 of the shots hit, and they have a strength of 4 against toughness 5, so a 5-up normally, but because of hard as nails, they need 6s to wound. And they get 3 6s. The Orks have a 5-up save and no cover, so let's see what they get. And they save 2 of them, and they have feel no pain on 5-up because of the pain boy. And fails, so 1 wound goes through and slays the boy. Next we have the Long Fangs, who are going to shoot at the Kilacans. Normally they need a 4-up to hit, but because the weapons are heavy and they stood still, they need 3-up. And they hit on 4 of them, but both of the moments they can reroll 1 die. And they hit on every shot. Strength of 9, toughness of 6, so 3-up to wound. And wounds on 4 of the shots. Kilacans have a 3+ save, but the missile launchers have a AP of -2, so that is turned down to a 5, and then they get cover, so they need 4-up to save. And they save 1, so 3 goes through. D6 damage from the missile launchers, and the Kilacans have 5 wounds each. So the first one gets a 2, so one of them takes 2 wounds, and the next one is also a 2, going on the same one with 1 wound left, which means he will die automatically. And we get a 1, so perfect. 5 wounds and 1 Kilacan is gone. No charges and no combats, so we move over to Orks, turn 1. In the command phase, both player gets a CP as normal, and the boys are claiming their home objective. In the movement phase, the Death Thread moved up on this flank over here, and the Flash Kits and boys moved closer to the Space Wolves, and the Death Threads also moved closer towards this ruin. I meant Kilacans. By the way, if you see that we do anything wrong in regards to the rules, please let us know in the comments below. We want to learn and get better at this game, so please leave a comment. In the shooting phase, the Kilacans is going to shoot at the Grey Hunters over here, and they will use this shoot a power trip rule. Let's see what they get. They get a 1, and that means that a Ork unit within 12 inches will take D3 mortal wounds. However, I think Alex is going to command reroll this, and he gets a 5 instead, which means that the shooting attacks of the Kilacans ignores cover. Only weapons in range is the Kanzuka from this the Kilacan, and they get 3 shots into the Space Wolves. Hitting on 5 up, they get... Oh, hitting on 4 up. Okay, so they get 3 hits. Of 5 against toughness 4 means 3 up. And it's 2 wounds. 2 wounds and a 3-up save for the Space Wolves. They get both of them. Next we have the Flash Kits shooting their SNAS gun into the Grey Hunters. You have to correct us if we are wrong, but we think that the crazy show-off rule is in effect here, because this unit is the closest visible eligible unit. We think that even though this is closer, it's not eligible because they cannot see them. So because of that, they get 1 extra shot, and that is 20 shots in total. 5 up to hit. Typical Orks, they only get 4 hits, but 3 of them are sustained, so 3 more hits. Strength of 6 against a toughness of 4, so he needs 3 up to wound. And gets 5 wounds. Now on to saving throws. Space Wolves have a 3-up save, -1 because of the weapon and +1 because of cover, so they need a 3-up to save. And they fail 1. Damage is 2, so 1 Space Marine is dead. Next we have the Death Thread, who is also going to shoot at the Grey Hunters. The custom Mega Blasta, 3 shots, and hits on 1 of them. 9 against 4, that is a 2+. And that's a wound. AP minus 2 plus 1 because of the barricade, so 4 up save. And that's a fail. D6 damage, 3 damage, and that means that one other Grey Hunter is dead. Next we have the rocket launcher, who gets D3 attacks plus 1 because the unit is over 5 models, and that is 2 total. 5 up to hit, and 1 hit. Strength of 9, AP minus 2, so needs a 2 up to wound. And that's a 1. In the charge phase, the Kilocans is going to try to charge these Grey Hunters in 9 inches to complete the charge and get 8. Battle round is done, and we move over to Space Marines, turn 2. So in the start of the battle round, Alex has called a WOG, so he will have a WOG in this battle round altogether. Both players got 1 CP each, and the Oath of Moment will go on the Death Dread. And in the start of the command phase, this chaplain will use Warrior Pride stratagem for 1 CP to get the Saga of the Bear, which gives this unit a 6+ Feel No Pain. And that will be in effect until end of turn. And for victory points, it is the second turn, and the Space Wolf player will get 5 victory points for holding 1 objective. On to the movement phase for the Space Wolves. In the movement phase, these Grey Hunters moved out to provide a meat shield for the rest of the Space Wolf army against the Ork horde. The rest of the army stood still. To the shooting phase, this unit of Grey Hunters will fire on the boys over there. Starting with the flamers to the 6, and they get 6 wounds total. Of course, I meant hits, not wounds. Strength of 4 against a toughness of 5, so need 5 up. And gets 4 wounds. Save of 5+. And saves 1, but you also have a 5+ Feel No Pain from the Pain Boy. And saves 1 more, so 2 orcs are dead. Next we have the bolt guns, and they hit on a 3 up. And gets 4 hits, 5 up to wound, and 2 wounds. 5 up to save, and 1 save, 1 Feel No Pain. Oh, it's a save. Next we have these Grey Hunters. They are going to fire their weapons at the flash kits in the back there. So first we do the plasma guns. They need a 3 up to hits, and hits on both of them. They need a 3+ to wound. 1 wound. Normally flash kits have a 4 up armor save, but they are behind cover, or some of them are. So they get a 3+ save, -2 AP, needing 5s. And saves. Next we have the bolt guns, and they hit on a 3 up. They score 8 hits, and with a strength of 4 against toughness 5, they need 5 to wound. And gets 2 wounds. It's a regular 3+ save. And 1 wound. Strength of 9 against a toughness of 9, so 4 up to wound. And gets 1 wound. Use 1 command reroll and try to get 1 more wound, which we do. Death Thread have a 2+ armor save, -2 AP for the missile launcher, so 4 up to save, and saves 1. Okay, so only 1 missile got through the armor, D6 damage. 1! Can't command reroll because I already command rerolled. No charges, no close combat, so we move over to the Orks, turn 2. So, command phase for the Orks, they get 5 points for holding this objective in the back. On to the movement phase. The Death Thread advanced into this position, and in response, the Long Fangs are going to fire Overwatch for 1 CP. Overwatch into the Death Thread, needing 6s to hit. gets 1/6, and they can also use their once per battle rule to turn any die after rolling to hit into a 6. That is called Armorium Cherub. Needing 4 up to wound, gets 1 wound, 4 up to save, and fails. D6 damage, 6 damage. In the movement phase, the rest of the orc units move just closer to try to make a charge. Starting with the orc shooting phase, the boys will shoot into these grey hunters, starting with the rocket launcher, D3 plus 1 because of the unit strength. So they get 3 hits, 3 shots rather, needing 5 up to hit. Gets 1 hit. Strength of 9, toughness 4, needing 2 up. And gets it. AP is -2, so a 5 up to save. No save. It's a damage 3, so 1 flamer is gone. Next we have 5 pistols hitting on 5+. And 1 hit. Strength of 4, so 4 up to wound. And gets 1 wound. 3 up save. And it's a save. Next, the flash kits will fire their weapons at these grey hunters. 10 shots needing 5 up. Getting 6 hits. Awesome shooting from the orcs, and 1 sustained, so 7 in total. Strength of 6, so 3 up to wound. And gets 5 wounds. AP of -1, so 4 up to save. And gets 3 saves. Damage 2 on each wound, so 2 Space Marines are dead. That is the shooting phase done. On to the charge phase. First, the Death Thread will try to charge into these grey hunters, needing a 5 or more. And gets a 5 exactly. Next, the boys will charge into these Space Marines and needing 3 or more. And they get 5. Kids will also charge into these ones, needing 4 or more. And gets 10. Next, we move over to the fight phase, starting with the units that have the fight first, which is the Death Thread and the Flash Kits and the boys. Let's kill some Marines, starting with the Death Thread. We totally forgot to tell you this, but in the charge phase, the Death Thread used Tank Shock stratagem for 1 CP. So now we will roll 12 D6s on a 5+, they cause 1 mortal wound. And we get 5 mortal wounds. No saves on these wounds, but they have a 6+ feel no pain from the stratagem earlier, so they can try to save on a 6+. And they save 2, so 3 mortal wounds go through. So 1 model is slain and 1 wound on the next one. Starting in the fight phase with the Death Thread, it has 5 attacks, but he has 2 close combat claws, so he gets 6 and +1 for the charge, so 7 attacks into the Space Marines. Getting a 3 up to hit and gets 5 hits. 6 hits. 2 up to wound and gets 5 wounds. AP -2, so a 5 up save. And saves 2 of them. Each attack has 3 damage each, so 3 feel no pain rolls. Starting with the first one. Saves 2, but that is not enough, so he is dead. Next Space Marine, feel no pain. Nope, he is gone. And the last one, he is also dead. Next, the boys will fight, starting with the Pain Boy. Starting with the Power Claw, he needs 4 up to hits. And he gets no hits. Next, we have the Earthy Syringe and needing 3 up to hit. Hits on both of them. Syringe has an anti-infantry of 4+, so let's see what he gets. He gets 2 6s, which means that both of them is D6 wounds. AP of -0, so a 3 up save. Save both of them. Next we have the Knob with the Big Chopper needing 3 up. And gets 3 hits. Of 8, so 2 up. And gets 3 wounds. AP -1, so 4 up save. And fails 2 of them. 2 wounds each, so 2 Space Marines are dead. Next we have the boys with Chopper and they need 3 up on 20 attacks. And they have sustain as well. Getting 12 hits, and with sustain that is 19. So 5, so 3 up. 16 wounds in total. Good luck, Space Wolves. AP of -1, so 4 ups to save. Yeah, they are gone. Bye bye. After slaughtering the space wolves, the boys consolidated towards this objective. The flash kits also consolidated against that objective. Next, the space wolf will fight back against the death thread. The power fist did not have enough move to get consolidation within engagement range of the death thread, so only the chaplain and this one space wolf can fight. We forgot that the space wolf have to take a battle shock test because of the death thread. So 6 up, and they fail. Attacking back at the death thread, starting with the one space marine in close combat. He has 3 attacks and needing 3 up to hit. And he hits with 2 attacks. Strength of 4 against toughness 9, so 6s, but +1 because of the chaplain. So 5 up to wound. Gets 1 wound. AP -1, so 3 up. And he saves. Next we have the chaplain. He hits on 2+ on 5 attacks. So he hits on 4. Both of moments and converts that into a 6, so 5 hits. 5 up to wound, but +1 because of the chaplain ability, so 4 up. And gets 1 wound. -1, so 3 up. Ooh, he saves. That's the end of battle round 2, so onwards to Space Marines, turn 3. In the command phase, we take a battle shock test on these Grey Hunters, and they pass. In the command phase, the Space Wolves gets 5 points for holding an objective. This time, Oath of Moment will go on the flash kits. In the movement phase, these Grey Hunters and the Chaplain fall back. Starting with the shooting phase, the Grey Hunters and the Chaplain will fire at the death thread. Starting with the bolt guns, needing 3 up to hits. And gets 2 hits. 6s to wound. Nothing. Next we have the chaplain firing his bolter, needing a 3 up. And he hits, needing 6s to wound. And he gets it! AP -1, damage 2. Save. Oh! Continuing with the long fangs, firing 3 crack shots at the death thread and 2 frag shots at the flash kits. Starting with the death thread, needing 3 up to hit. And hits on 1, and the die roll of a 1 can be re-rolled on a failed hit, and gets 2 hits. 4 up to wound, gets 1 wound. -2, so 4 up. And he fails. Command re-roll? Yes. And fails once again. The death thread is dead. The demise on a 6. Nope. D6 shots per missile launcher, so 2d6 plus 2 because the unit is 5 or more. And gets, oh, this one is cocked, let's roll that again. Gets a 6 and a 5, so 11 plus 2 is 13 hits. I of course mean shots, not hits. So 3 up to hits. 5 hits and Oath of Moment on the rest of them. Okay, so that's better. 10 hits in total, and they have a strength of 4 against toughness 5, so 5 up to wound. And gets 1, 2, 3 wounds. Save of 4 up. And saves 2 and 1 wound. That means that the one that was wounded earlier is dead. No charges and no fighting, so over to Orks, turn 3. In the command phase, the Orks score 10 victory points, 5 for controlling 1 objective and 5 more for controlling 2. The Painboy is sadly not within range of this site, so he cannot claim it for 15 points. Also in the command phase, the Painboy is using Grot Orderly, which makes that he gets D3 models back in his bodyguard unit, and he gets 1 back. On to the movement phase. Wait, the boys secured this objective in their command phase. In the movement phase, the boys moved up closer to engage the Space Marines, as well as the Kilakans moved in closer as well. At the end of the movement phase, the boys are within 3 inches of this objective, so it's no longer secured by the Space Marines. Flash kits are firing their weapons at the closest eligible target over here and get 16 attacks, hitting on 4 up. Getting 11 hits, plus 4 sustained, so 15 hits. Strength of 6, so 3 up to wound. 8 wounds in total. AP of -1, so 4 up to save. And fails on 3 of them. 2 damage on each wound, so these 2 Space Marines are dead, and 2 wounds onto the chaplain. That is the end of the shooting phase, and the Orc units advance, so they cannot charge, ergo no fights. So on to Space Marines turn 4. Okay, on to turn 4 for the Space Marines. No battle shock tests because his unit are gone, but he himself is not below half strength, so he doesn't have to test. And each player gets command points as usual. He will use the Warrior's Pride and the Saga of the Warrior Born, which means that he gets sustained hits on his melee weapon for this turn. No points coming in for the Space Wolves, so the score is 15 to the Orcs and 10 to the Space Wolves. Phase, the chaplain moved in closer to the boys, which is answered with a Overwatch on the Flash Gets. Getting 6s to hit and gets 1 6, but that is sustained, so 2 hits in total. 3 up to wound and gets 2 wounds. 4 up save and saves both of them. On to the shooting phase. I forgot that the Oath of Moment is declared in the command phase, but it was declared on the boys. Shooting frag, d6 shots per long fang, so 5d6 plus 1, because the unit is more than 5 models. So we get 10, 14, 17 plus 5, 22 hits, or 22 shots. 22 shots, hitting on 3 plus. Oath of Moments. 1 miss and 21 hits on 2 wounds. Strength of 4 against toughness 5, so 5s to wound. 6 wounds in total, and the Orcs have gone to ground, so they get cover. They then get a save of 4 up. And saves 5 of them, so 1 needs to take a feel no pain on a 5 up. No, so 1 boy died. Chaplain will fire into the same unit, needing a 3 up to hit, and he misses. But Oath of Moments and hits. Strength 5, so 4 up to wound, and gets 1 wound. -1, 5 up save, and he saves. To the charge phase, only needing 2 inches to get into combat, so we'll just move in right there. Going into the fight phase, fight first on the chaplain. He has 5 attacks and he hits on 2 plus. Hits on everything. Strength of 6 means 3 up, but +1 because of his special rule, so 2 up to wound. Getting 4 wounds. P-1, so 6 up save. And he kills 4 orcs. Boys will strike back, starting with the Pain Boy, using his Power Claw, needing on his 3 attacks, needing a 4 up. And he gets 4 hits. 9, needing 2 up to wound. And gets 3 wounds. 4 plus invulnerable save. And he fails 2, and it's 2 damage each, so the chaplain is dead. The Orcs consolidated to the home objective of the Space Wolves. Now on to Orcs, turn 4. In the command phase, the Orcs scored 10 victory points, so they now have 25 against the Space Marines 10. Boys moved closer to the Long Fangs, and they respond with an Overwatch. 26 shots and gets, 18, 19, 24 hits, or shots. 24 shots, hitting on 6s. And they get 1 6, but they have Oath of the Moment, so they can re-roll. Once again, needing 6s. And they get a couple more. So 5 hits in total. 5 up to wound. Gets 1 wound. Up save. Hey, they killed 1 more orc. The Killicans moved closer and the Flash Kid stood still. On to the shooting phase for the Orcs. Flash kits will fire at the long fangs. 16 shots needing a 4-up. 8 hits and 2 sustains, so 10 hits. 3+ to wound. And gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. AP -1, but the long fangs have gone to ground, so 3-up save. And fails 2 of them, and it's 2 wounds each, so 2 of the space wolves are dead. The orc boys will fire at the long fangs with 2 sluggers. 5 up to hit. Hits with 1 of them. Or 4 up to hit, no, to wound, and nothing. Pelicans will fire their weapons at the long fangs, starting with the Grotsuka. Plus 3 shots. He gets 2 plus 3, that's 5. 4 up to hits. And hits on 4 of them. Of 6 needing a 3-up. And gets 2 wounds. 3-up save. And 1 fail. 1 wound on this guy. Next we have the can shooter that is within rapid fire range and get 5 shots at the space wolves, needing 4-up. Gets 3 hits. 5 needing a 3-up. And gets 2 wounds. No AP minus, so we need a 3-up to save. And we save both. Charge phase, the boys are charging up to the long fangs, needing a 6 or more. And gets a 7. In the 5 phase, the boys will strike first because they charge and will pile in first. Starting with the pain boy, he uses his power claw, 3 attacks needing a 3-up. 4-up. 4-up. And he gets 2 hits. 9, so 2 up to wound. And 2 wounds. AP -2, so 5-up save. And 2 fails, which means the one that was wounded is dead, plus 1 more. Next, he will use the syringe, needing a 3-up to hits. And he hits, and he has a 4-up anti-infantry, so he needs a 4-up. And he gets it. -0, so 3-up save. And they save. Next, we have the knob with the big chopper. 3 attacks, needing 3-up. And he hits on 2 of them. Sustained, so 3 hits, strength of 7 against toughness 4, so 3-up. 2 wounds. AP -1, so 4-up save. Saves both. Lastly, we have the boy. He has a regular chopper, and he has 3 attacks, needing 3-up. He hits on 2 of them, 2 sustains, so 4 hits. 4, so 4-up. And gets 2 wounds. AP -1, so 4-up save. Saves 1, and 1 goes through. 1 damage onto this guy. The long fangs will strike back with their close combat weapons. 4 attacks total, hitting on 3+. And they get 2 hits, but they have Oath of the Moment. So they get 4 hits in total. Strength of 4, toughness 5, so 5 up to wound. And they get 2 wounds. 5-up save. Saves none of them, so 1 wound on the boy, which kills him, and 1 wound on the knob. At this stage, we will just call the game. The orcs have too many points, and the space wolves have only 2 models left. Even though there is 1 battle round remaining, they concede the game, and the orcs are the winners. Congratulations to the green side. This is it for now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content like this. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date with our latest videos and be a part of our growing community. We appreciate your support, and it encourages us to create more valuable content. So go ahead, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.